The book of Exodus, which means going out, in Greek, is one of the most thrilling and dramatic books in the Bible. Who can resist a good escape story? Exodus is the second book of the Torah, where the Israelites are delivered from slavery in Egypt. Throughout history, Exodus chapter 12 has been seen as a symbol of liberation, faith, and transformation. It has inspired movements, been subject to various interpretations, and has even been adapted into musicals. Remember, if you like this video and comment, subscribe. I'll be sure to respond to all of your messages. Exodus chapter 12 opens with God's commandment to the Israelites. Here's where God gets specific. This month shall be for you the beginning of months. The precise instructions give the Israelites a clear guideline. The new calendar emphasizes a fresh start and new identity. The meticulous details reflect the importance of obedience to God. The Israelites are told to prepare for the Passover, a feast that would become a cornerstone of Jewish tradition. What's on the menu, you ask? Lamb, herbs, and unleavened bread. Each family must select a perfect lamb. The lamb must be sacrificed and roasted. The blood must be applied to the doorposts. The stage is set, and the Israelites are ready. The 10th plague, a divine blockbuster filled with suspense, culminates in the death of the Egyptian firstborn. This final plague is the last straw that breaks Pharaoh's resistance. Here's what happened. The angel of death visited the Egyptian households. The Israelites were spared thanks to the blood on their doorposts. Pharaoh finally relents and lets the Israelites go. This act of judgment is both terrifying and liberating. And finally, the moment we've all been waiting for, the exodus of the Israelites from Egypt. Imagine the excitement, the relief, the chaos, the insanity. The Israelites were free at last, but not without a few challenges along the way. They left in haste, without leavened bread. They carried the bones of Joseph. They embarked on a journey towards the promised land. The lamb and its significance. In Exodus chapter 12, the lamb isn't just a tasty dinner option, it's packed with symbolism. The lamb had to be spotless, representing purity. The lamb's sacrifice protected the Israelites from death. As for Christians, the lamb also symbolizes Jesus, the Lamb of God. The blood on the doorposts wasn't just a gruesome decoration, it was a lifesaver, quite literally. Here's why: the blood protected the Israelites from the angel of death. Covenant, it symbolized a binding agreement between God and his people. Redemption, the blood symbolized deliverance from slavery. Why unleavened bread, you might ask? It's seen as pure since leaven often symbolizes corruption. It symbolizes the haste with which the Israelites left Egypt. Finally, continuity is the connection to the ongoing Jewish tradition of celebrating Passover. Exodus chapter 12 isn't just about physical freedom from slavery. It's about spiritual and emotional freedom as well. Freedom from the past in leaving behind old identities. Freedom to worship in embracing a relationship with God. Freedom to hope in looking forward to a promised future. Freedom is more than just breaking chains, it's about embracing a new destiny. Exodus chapter 12 isn't confined to ancient history, it continues to be celebrated today. Jewish Passover is celebrated annually to remember the deliverance from Egypt. Some Christians see parallels between the Passover lamb and Christ's sacrifice. Whether in synagogue or church, Exodus chapter 12 continues to inspire rituals and traditions. The dramatic events of Exodus chapter 12 have inspired many artistic works, from paintings to poems to blockbuster movies. Artists like Marc Chagall have depicted scenes from Exodus in his work. In literature, authors have used Exodus as a metaphor for liberation. Film, Hollywood has embraced Exodus in epic films like The Ten Commandments. Just like a timeless classic novel, Exodus chapter 12 keeps getting reinterpreted, never going out of style. But how can you teach Exodus chapter 12 to the young generation? How do you teach ancient biblical texts to TikTok-loving teens? It's not as hard as parting the Red Sea. Engage with vivid storytelling. Use this YouTube video to educate your friends and family interactively. Draw parallels from the text to current events or personal experiences. Exodus chapter 12 can be as relatable as a trending hashtag if presented in the right way. The death of the Egyptian firstborn has raised interesting questions. Divine justice versus human morality: was the murder of the firstborn morally acceptable? The collateral damage: what about the innocent? Theodicy in how can a loving God allow such suffering? These are not simple questions, and opinions vary. Let us know your opinion and we will respond with our thoughts. Exodus chapter 12 is primarily a Jewish text, but it has been interpreted by different faith traditions. The Jewish interpretation is central to the Passover celebration and tradition. The Christian interpretation is seen within the context of Christ's sacrifice. The Islamic interpretation is acknowledged but with variations in details. One text, many interpretations. It's like a multifaceted gem, reflecting different colors depending on the angle. Different cultures view Exodus chapter 12 through different lenses. The Western perspective is often seen as a story of liberation and divine justice. The Eastern perspective may be interpreted more allegorically or symbolically. The African perspective has resonated with themes of liberation from colonization. Exodus chapter 12 is like a global dish, spiced differently in every culture. Lessons on leadership. Moses, the leader of the Israelites, offers valuable leadership lessons. Courage in standing up to Pharaoh. Humility by recognizing his limitations. Faithfulness in following God's commands. Want to be a great leader of people? Take a page from Moses' playbook. Exodus chapter 12 is a masterclass in faith and trust. Faith in the unseen, with the Israelites believing in God's promises of ultimate liberation. Trust in leadership, by following Moses. Community trust in working together as a people toward one goal. Community plays a central role in Exodus chapter 12. Shared responsibility of a community by selecting and preparing the lamb as an offering. The common experience in participating in the Passover meal. Collective memory, and remembering and retelling the story of the Exodus from Egypt. The Israeli community in Exodus chapter 12 is like a potluck dinner: everyone contributes, and everyone feasts. Exodus chapter 12 teaches us about embracing change and new beginnings. Leaving the old behind, with the Israelites leaving Egypt and their old lives. Embracing uncertainty as the Israelites embarked on an uncertain journey. Hope for the future: they looked forward to a promised land. Starting fresh. Exodus chapter 12 is your guidebook for new beginnings. Well, we've been through quite a journey, haven't we? We've explored Exodus chapter 12 from various angles. From religious practices to modern interpretations, Exodus chapter 12 continues to resonate globally. Hungry for more? I encourage you to dive into the text yourself. We have a link to our preferred Old Testament Bible in the comments section. You may find it as thrilling as we do. Again, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. If you type subscribe in our comment area, we will be sure to respond to all messages. Bible Short Stories, signing off.